Today we're going to go over the large game Kleptsy trap. This is going to be for larger game, to about the size of a boar, wild pigs, dogs, such. What I have here first is a large spike that is going to be large enough to take the game that I'm after. I have a for the setting piece just a toggle system. This is going to be my toggle, my drop stick, my stakeout stick, and my Y stick. I have a very large swing arm that has a cutout here. I'll do a video later of how you can make a really good cutout like this that my spike is going to fit into. And I have another piece, and this is a pin out stick. This is basically to build a pin up against where all this is going together. So I'm going to start off by putting each individual piece together. Now, this stake is about 16 inches in length, and as you can see, I've cut out two flat sides so that it will fit down in between this groove very well. What you want is you want a flat side on one end, and the other end you don't have to flatten, and then you cut a groove. And this flat side is so that when you put your stake in there, it will stop it like a hammer. You know, it'll hammer it basically. Because if you don't, then the stake will just slide right on through, and if it's rounded off, it can give a little bit more. This makes a very solid connection. So I'm going to wedge this in here really well and put it together. Tie the clove hitch around the toggle switch. Come back around one more time over the toggle switch and make an overhand knot. That's usually all that you need for the toggle. Okay, so if I were going to be putting this together, this is obviously not ready, but basically this loop would go around the spike and back down, and then it would catch on the tripping mechanism. So this is just to give me a measurement of where I want to put everything. So I'm going to put my keeper bar right about here. Bring a hatchet with me, so I don't have to have a stick. Let me use this. This isn't actually going to be pulling up on this on the catch bar, so I'm not too concerned about that being lifted. It's actually going to be pulling backwards on it, so a Y stick would actually work better than this. And this is my trip mechanism, my actual drop stick, and my stakeout peg. I need to know about where all this stuff's going to go. And this actually works out really good because I'm on real soft ground. So now my actual trigger mechanism is pretty much set. This piece is going to go right here on the back of the tree. I don't know if you can see that or not, but we'll show that because you put that together when you're finished with the trap itself. Okay, so I've wound it up and I'm almost finished, but I needed to redo this. The final touches of this trap spike is. That way if the spike goes through the animal, it won't go too far. This doesn't have to be real tight to the tree. I can't get it to stay real tight to the tree. So I'm just doing what I can at the moment. Like I said, this doesn't have to be real tight. The point is, when the animal is pushed up against it, it'll keep the animal from being able to come this way. You might want to put 2 or 3, but just for these purposes, that's as many as I'm making. But real quick, I'm going to kind of give you a view of this. So, there's my mechanism for setting the trap. Just a regular toggle trip switch. And then there is the killing mechanism. I'm using 3 ply of 550 parachute cord across there. This trap's a little bit slower than some of the smaller versions because it is so large and it has so much weight to carry. Making sure that everything overhead is clear. It'll move around pretty quietly, and will keep the animal from seeing really what's coming around on it. If I move this too far back, we're not going to be able to get a good enough shot of the trap actually hitting the target, so I'm not going to move it so far back. So my tip on my point's already blunt, but kind of give you an idea. This isn't a very fast trap, but it's quiet. So if the hog comes up, hits it, it's not going to hear a bunch of things coming around at it. So let's see what this can do. Round 2. As you can see, not too bad, but I still can't get it to penetrate that jug. One way to do that is to make my peg out of bone or antler or something a lot sharper, but it definitely has the power to take out the hog for sure. So, Jason the Phone Boy, and there's another trap that you can do in various different sizes, heights, up, tall, or short. So send me some comments, let me know what you think.